All right, good morning, everybody. This is Annie from the Radnor Memorial Library, and I'm here with Baby Bees and some special guests for our first Zoom into Science. I've got Sally with me, and Sally is a retired biology teacher. And we also have some students with us today. This is Lucy. Lucy's in eighth grade. What grade are you in? Lucy, which grade are you in? Third grade. And then I've got Pippa, and she's in 12th grade, right?
No.
No, which grade are you? Kindergarten, exactly. So we've got a third grader and a kindergartner with us. And now I'm going to pass it over to Sally to start our science lesson for the day.
Hi there. Hi, Pip. Hi, Lou. Hey, Pip and Lou and I have been doing some science together, and we thought today maybe you'd like to join in with us. So we're going to do a little activity that you can very easily do at your home, and it's called Psychedelic Science Lava Lamp. And, you know, back in the day when I was a kid, lava lamps were very hip and cool. Lots of people had them. So, you know, maybe your Grammy or your pops have one stuck somewhere in a closet. And then they came back around, and your parents might have had one. And I know, Pip, you had one. What color was yours?
It was rainbow.
It was rainbow color. Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
It over the battery.
Right. Now take a look at all these different lava lamps. Lucy, why do you think they call them lava lamps?
Because it kind of looks like lava.
In what way does it look like lava?
Because it's like floating around.
Right, it's kind of floating around. And that's what we're going to try and do today. We are going to try to kind of create our own lava lamp and talk about the science behind it. So I want to review with you the equipment you're going to need, or the materials. Now, I have a little box I'm setting stuff on here. You don't need that. But you're going to need a clear glass, water glass. Now, if it's one with a design on it, that's okay. Just kind of turn it to the side. You're going to need some cooking oil. And doesn't matter what kind you have, but you're going to need some of that. Some salt. Here at my house, I have big coarse salt, but I'm going to use that. And I put it in a little container so that it's easier to get out. But you can actually use your salt shaker if you want. You're going to need some water, and I have mine in a container so I don't have to keep going back and forth to the sink. Some food coloring. You might have little neon colors, and I think that's what the girls are using, neon colors. And but if at your home you have the primary colors, you can use that. I think I'm going to use red today. You also a flashlight will be handy. And if you have measuring spoons or just a teaspoon, that's good. And you might want to have a 1/4 cup measure ready. And I think that's about everything. So I'm going to start. And I think you girls already have the water in your cup, don't you? So I'm going to fill the cup about 3/4 full of water. All right, so you see, just eyeball it. You don't need to measure it at all. You can just do that. Is your water about that much, girls?
Yeah.
Can you show me your cups? Okay, so you can sit that right in front of you. All right. So now the next thing we're going to do is pick out your favorite color, your favorite food coloring that you want to use. And just add, you might need to shake it a little. Mine's been in the closet for a long time, the cabinet. And I'm going to just put 4 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I'm going to add 5. 5.
1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did your mom already measure out a 1/4 cup oil for you?
Yeah.
All right, let me get my, don't pick it up yet. Let me get mine measured out. Oh my gosh, the lid's on so tight. And I don't need exactly, I might not need all of this, but maybe. Now watch what I'm going to do. Watch. I'm going to slowly pour it onto the water until the whole top of the water is covered with oil. So it'll bubble a little. So go ahead and pour the oil. I also have a paper towel here to set this oily measuring cup on. So carefully. Oh, you guys are doing that so well. Okay. Do you have the whole top of your water covered? Not yet. Lucy's still working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't smell great. Got it, Lou? Okay. Now, does yours kind of look like mine? Does the oil seem to make a layer on top of the water?
Yeah, it
Yes,
does.
Pippi. Pippi, now, what do you think? If it's on top of the water, what do we say that that's doing on top of the water?
Floating.
Floating. It's floating on top of the water. And the reason that it's floating on top of the water is because it is lighter in weight than the water. It's lighter than the water. So you see that's that little layer of oil, okay? So that's a good thing.
Sometimes
Okay.
they do salad dressing like that.
Yeah, and you know, this will happen anytime that you mix together. That's why, like Annie said, when you make the salad dressing, you have to be sure to shake it up. Okay, so now we're going to add some salt. Now let me show you how on this. You can use a salt shaker, but you have a little container, don't you? So I'm going to use about a teaspoon of salt. Now, before we get going here, it's very important when you add the salt, don't add it yet. It's very important when you add the salt that you observe what happens. And that's, you know, I'm going to add that word. We have a word wall going with our science words, and observe is very important in science. And so observe. What does it mean to observe something? Lucy, do you know?
Yes, it means to look closely.
To look closely and study it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off and add a teaspoon of salt slowly, and then we're going to continue to add some more salt. So let's add some salt and observe what happens.
Whoa.
Whoa! You can get some more salt and add it. Oh my gosh. And you know what you can do now? Take your flashlight and kind of shine it through. And do you see what's happening? Not from the top, do it from the side. In fact, I'm going to add a little bit more salt. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off my lights.
We should actually just turn off the lights.
You don't have to. You don't have to. But can you see what's happening? Look from the side. Put some more salt in there.
Whoa.
Can you tell me what is happening when you add the salt?
It's building.
Well, what's happening inside here?
It's making little bubbles.
It's making bubbles, and they're coming from the bottom up, aren't they?
Lucy,
It's kind of like
your camera a little bit so we can see your lava lamps too.
There you go.
Cool.
It's kind of like your lava lamp. Let me put the lights back on. Is it still going or has it stopped?
I'm still putting more in.
Okay, put a little more salt in and see if it keeps going. Whoa, there it goes again.
At least
You don't need to stir, don't stir it up, just put more salt in. Now let's talk about what's happening. Remember we said that the oil was floating? What does it look like the salt is doing?
going to the bottom.
And so what's the word for that? You float or you sink. Yes. So if the oil is lighter and floats on top, sinking, the salt sinking tells you what about the salt? Is it lighter than the water?
It's
or heavier? It's heavier. Right, and that's what is happening here. When you add the salt is heavier than the water, and it goes down through the oil and takes some of the oil with it as it sinks, and then the oil floats back up to the top.
Should I just dump the whole thing in? Yeah. No, put it in.
No, just salt. You can keep adding and see if it keeps sinking and see if it keeps making bubbles. So that makes your lava lamp. And it is really cool, like we did when we turned the lights off and we put the flashlight on there. Hey, now girls, let's talk. You know, last week we talked about variables. Remember we talked about this word, variables. Let me see if I can point it out here. Here we go. Variables. We talked about things we could change to test the experiment. Hey, let's put your, move your camera back, move your screen back down so we can see your experiment. There you go. Now, let me ask you this, girls. Let's talk about some things we could change to see if they work to make the lava lamp. What's that?
Pepper.
Okay, we're not going to do it yet, but let's just make a list. We could add pepper. What else might we put in there besides salt and pepper? Do you think, what's another white powdery type stuff?
Snow.
Well, snow, but snow is water. How about it tastes sweet? Sugar. We could try sugar. What about, and let me ask you this, if we wanted to change the temperature of the water, Pippi, what do you think we could do to, because this was just regular old room temperature water. How could we change the temperature of the water, do you think, Pippi? What could we do?
Ice?
Yes, you could add ice. Lucy, what could we do if we wanted to warm it up?
Put it in the microwave!
Or couldn't we just run warm water? Yeah. You could try sand. You could try sugar. Hey, let's sit down. There's all kinds of things that we could change. Now, also, do you think the shape of the glass has anything to do with it?
Yeah.
So maybe we could, what could we do to test the shape of the glass?
Pour it into something different.
Put it into something different. Also, we are using canola oil. And there's lots of different types of oil that you people might have in their homes. Olive oil, sunflower oil, peanut oil, and the different oils might make a difference. So there's lots of different types of variables that we could check. Now, so I think that Pippi and Lucy and I are going to go off and we're going to try some of these different variables. And here's what I'm suggesting to those of you. You might want to do this experiment with the salt and then test some variables. You only want to change one of those things at a time. In other words, you're going to have to empty your cup, clean it out, start over with fresh water, fresh food coloring, fresh oil, and then maybe try sugar. Clean it out, start again, maybe try pepper, maybe try hot water or ice. You can even make a little data table, and data is the information we collect in an experiment. And so you could actually write down how long do the bubbles go up and down when you have salt or sugar. You could do some measuring and collect some data. The important thing to remember is each time you need to clean out the cup and start over again and start fresh. So we're going to go and do some other testing, but we would love to see or hear from you about some of your results. What variables did you test? Which one worked best? Maybe you'll send us a picture of your lava lamp or a little video, or tell us what's going on. Hey girls, so we're going to test some variables. What's one that you think we might test?
Ice.
Okay, they want to test ice. So I think that's the one that we're going to do. Anybody have any questions right now before we say bye-bye? Well, thanks for joining us, and we hope to hear from you and maybe see you again.
Thanks, Sally. Thank you, Lucy and Pippa. And folks, if you've tried this experiment at home, we hope you'll post some information below on our Facebook feed, comment, and share a picture or a little video. Bye-bye.